Joining me again, Admiral Mike Mullen, the former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Mike, so let me put it to you first. Can this counteroffensive really work? And more broadly, the Ukrainian army is still outnumbered 10-1 by the Russian army. The Russians have much larger defense budget. Can Ukraine actually win this?
Well, I think that
the Ukrainian army is still outnumbered 10-1 by the Russian army.
Well, I think that
the Russians have much larger defense budget.
Well, I think that. Well, I think that our allies, NATO, United States in particular, have to keep providing the kind of arms we have at a rate that will allow the Ukrainians to continue to oppose and sustain the kind of counteroffensive that you're talking about. That in terms of willingness to suffer, I just think it's going to take a long, long time to do that. And then that gets into what should the United States do? What does the EU do in terms of willingness to suffer? In terms of willingness to suffer? In terms of willingness to suffer? To suffer? To suffer? To suffer? To suffer? So we all have to kind of brace for a long one and put Russia, I think, and Putin in particular, in a position to not do this again.
Could the U.S. Navy do something to unlock Odessa?
Well, I think it's a decision for President Biden, and honestly, I've been mystified that we haven't put U.S. Navy ships up into the Black Sea to create the kind of corridor that you're speaking of, and that has been mentioned before by other individuals who've served. That it is doable. The worry that I have is the longer we delay that, the harder it's going to be. Those who operate at sea, both on the Russian and the U.S. side, understand that environment, and contrary or different from the use of quote-unquote potential use of nuclear weapons. There's nothing that's going to happen at sea that's going to turn this into World War III specifically. And you now see the human carnage associated with it. And I think the U.S. and our allies, quite frankly, have to do a lot more to control the Black Sea and control that sea lane so that we can get that grain and those exports out to so many needy countries who were on the edge of food insecurity when this war started, and now are deeply into it, probably much more deeply than we really understand. Well, I think that honestly I've been mystified.